Hello everyone. Today our topic is international business environment. So, one of the most dramatic and significant world trends in the past 2 decades has seen the rapid, sustained growth of international business. Markets have become truly global for most goods, many services, and especially for financial instruments of all types. World product trade has expanded by more than 6% a year since 1950, which is more than 50% faster than growth of output of the most dramatic increase in globalization has occurred in financial markets. So, in the global foreign exchange market, billions of dollars are transacted each day, of which more than 90% represent financial transactions unrelated to trade or investment. Much of this activity takes place in the so called euro markets, markets outside the country, those currency is used. So, the pervasive growth in market interpretation or interpenetrations makes it increasingly difficult for any country to avoid substantial external impacts on this economy. In particular, massive capital flows can push exchange rates away from levels that accurately reflect competitive relationship among nations if national economic policies or performance diverse in short term. The rapid disseminations rate of new technologies speeds the pace at which countries must adjust to external events. Smaller, more open countries long ago gave up illusion of domestic policy autonomy, but even the largest and most apparently self contained economies, including the US, are now significantly affected by the global economy. Global integration in trade, investment, and factor flows, technology, and communication has been tying economic together. Why then are these changes coming about and what exactly are they? It is in practice easier to identify the former than interpret the latter. The reason is that during the past few decades, the emergence of corporate empires in the world economy based on the contemporary scientific and technological developments has led to globalizations of production. As a result of international production, cooperation among global productive units, the large scale capital exports, the export of production or production abroad has come into prominence as against commodity export in world economy in recent years. Global corporations consider the whole of the world their production place as well as their market and move factors of production to wherever they can optimally be combined. They avail fully of revolution that has brought about instant worldwide communication and near instant transformation. Their ownership is transnational. Their management is transnational. Their freely mobile management, technology and capital, the modern agent for stepped up economic growth, transcend individual national boundaries. They are domestic in every place, foreign in non a true corporate citizen of the world. The greater interdependence among nations has already reduced economic insularity of the peoples of the world as well as their social and political insularity. Now, the definition of international business. International business includes any type of business activity that crosses national borders. Though a number of definitions in the business literature can be found, but no simple or universally accepted definition exists for the term international business. International business is defined as organization that buys and or sells goods and services across two or more national boundaries. Even if management is located in a single country, national business is equipped or equated only with those big enterprises which have operating units outside their own country. Now, in its traditional form of international trade and finance as well as its newest form of multinational business operations, international business has become massive in scale and has come to exercise a major influence over political, economic, and social from many types of comparative business studies and from a knowledge of many aspects of foreign business operations. In fact, sometimes the foreign operations and the comparative business are used as synonymous for international business. Foreign business refers to domestic operations within a foreign country. Comparative business focuses on similarities and differences among countries and business systems. For focuses on similarities and differences among countries and businesses, operations and comparative business as field of inquiry do not have as their major point of interest the special problems that arise when business activities cross national boundaries. For example, the vital question of potential conflicts between the nation state and the multinational firm, which receives major attention in international business, is not like to be centered or even peripheral in foreign operations and comparative business. Now, scope of international business activities. The study of international business focus on the particular problems and opportunities that emerge because a firm is operating in more than one country. In a very real sense, international business involves the broadest and most generalized study of the field of business. Involves the broadest and most generalized study that I say earlier, field of business adapted to a fairly unique across the border environment. Many of the parameters and environmental variables that are very important in international business, such as foreign legal system, foreign exchange markets, cultural difference, and different rates of inflations or inflation, are either largely irrelevant to domestic business or are so reduced in range and complexity as to be of greatly diminished significance also. Thus, it might be said that domestic business is a special limited case of international business. The distinguishing feature of international business is that international firms operate in environments that are highly uncertain and where the rules of the game are often ambiguous, contradictory, and subject to rapid change as compared to the domestic environment. In fact, conducting international business is really not like playing a whole new ball game. However, it is like playing in a different ballpark where international managers have to learn the factors unique to the playing field. Managers who are a, uh, identifying new ways of doing business that satisfy of changing priorities of foreign governments have an obvious and major competitive advantage over their competitors who cannot or will not adapt to these changing properties. The guiding principles of a firm engaged in engaged uh, the guiding principles of a firm engaged in or commencing international business activities should incorporate a global perspective. A firm's guiding principles can be defined in terms of three broad categories: product offered, market served, capabilities, and results. However, their perspective of the international business is critical to understand the full meaning of international business. That is, the firm's senior management should complicity or explicitly define the firm's guiding principles in terms of an international mandate rather than allow the firm's guiding principles in terms as an incidental adjunct to its domestic activities. Incorporating an international outlook into the firm basic statement of purpose will help focus the attention of managers at all levels of the organization on the opportunities and hazards outside the domestic economy also. It must be stressed that the impact of the dynamic factors unique to the playing field for international business are felt in all relevant stages of evolving and implementing business plans. The first broad stage of the process is to formulate corporate guiding principles. As outlined below, the first step in formulating and implementing a set of business plans is define the firm's guiding principles in the marketplace. The guiding principles should, among other things, provide a long-term view of what the firm is striving to become and provide direction to divisional and subsidiary managers' vehicle. Some firms use the decision circle, which is simply an interrelated set of strategic choices forced upon any firm faced with the internationalization of its market. So these choices have to do with marketing, sourcing, labor, management, ownership, finance, law, control, and public affairs. Here, the first two, marketing and sourcing, constitute the basic strategies that encompass a firm's initial considerations. Essentially, management is answering two questions: to whom are we going to sell what, and from where, and how will we supply that market? We then have a series of input strategies: labor, management, ownership, and financial. They are in their efforts to develop their own business plans as an obligation addressed essentially to the query: with what resources are we going to implement the basic strategies? What is where we will find the right people, willingness to carry the risk, and the necessary funds? The third set of strategies, legal and control, respond to the problem of how the firm is to structure itself, of implement the basic strategies given the resources it can master. A final strategic area, public affairs, is shown as a basic strategy simply because it places a restraint on all other strategy choices. So each strategy area contains a number of subsidiary strategy options. The decision process that normally starts in the marketing strategy area is an iterative one or iterative one, as the decision makers proceed around the decision circle. Previous selected strategies must be readjusted. Only a portion of the possible feedback adjustment loops is so. Although these strategy area are shown separately, but they obviously do not stand alone. There must be constant iterations as one moves around the decision circle. The sourcing obviously influences marketing strategy as well as the reverse. The target market may enjoy certain preferential relationship with other markets. That is, everything influences everything else. So that's the end of the video, my friends. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel and also like, share my channel. Thanks a lot for watching.